Hello, and welcome to Soul Aligned CEO Podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Mori. And on today's episode, I have a solo episode for you today. And it's a conversation that's very timely, and it's about enjoying the holidays, specifically enjoying the holidays after going through either a major life change or an awakening. So, welcome. So, first off, Merry Christmas Eve. It's December 23rd, 2024, and I have my Santa shirt on. He looks like he's holding the microphone. I am just a person that has always loved the holidays. And, over the last 6 years or so, it has been different. And so I wanted to take this opportunity to share some insight and some things that I have learned along the way, just how I perceive holidays, how I go into holidays now. And, if any of this can help you over the next few days or weeks as we approach the busy holiday season, that's really my intention. So, no matter what holidays you celebrate, if you are traditional, religious, if you're celebrating the new year, it doesn't really matter. Holidays are a part of being human. It's a part of that tradition and that celebration and that connection, often amongst friends and family. And so, most of us here and those of you listening to the podcast have probably experienced some sort of awakening or awareness or consciousness evolution. There's really not a great way to describe it, right? But I think we all know what we're talking about. We've been kind of going about our lives, and either over the course of a duration of time or sometimes maybe quite abruptly, something changes and we no longer see the world the way that maybe we once did. And I think that the term awakening is often a kind of mass, term for this concept of some sort of spiritual element to it, some sort of connection to ourselves, and some sort of connection to something higher that lends us to really view the world in a very different way. And so I think that term awakening, although it can seem a little bit like overdone and it's used so much on social media, I think that it's a good way of describing this journey. Something has changed. And, no matter what that is for you, or if you're going through a major life change at this time, I think the things that I'm going to share will be applicable either way. So, as I think about the holidays now, I definitely have an awareness of the importance of the time more than anything. I used to think about, gifts and activities and trips and, what are we doing over the holidays? All of those types of things, sure, they're still fun. They're all part of the human experience, but it's not really where my intention and focus is going into the holidays. To me, it's really about time and spending time with people that I care about and that are important in my life. And so, how do we do that, right? So, how do we go into these traditional celebrations and dinners and parties when we are now coming from a very different vantage point? And it can be challenging. And to be honest, the first few years for me were very isolating. Although I showed up and I was participating, I felt like I was kind of on the outside looking in. Like I felt so incredibly distant and disconnected because I didn't really have a sense of who I was yet at that time when all of this journey first started happening to me. But now, several years later, I feel very grounded, and I feel like the perspective that I have now is from a place of peace and joy and love. And so I'm hoping some of these ideas, might be something that you would want to incorporate. So, first off, you really have to decide. It's up to you. You have to choose if you'd like to participate or not. And some situations might be too much. There might be too many people. It might be too matrixy. It might be just not enjoyable for you. And that's okay. You can choose to say no, and you can decide, the types of events and gatherings and, celebrations that you want to participate in. And you don't need to feel bad about that. When you do decide to participate, though, my suggestions are one, let go of the stories. You have to go into this kind of with a blank slate, because if you're holding on to stories or you're holding on to expectations of how maybe these gatherings or celebrations have gone in the past, you're a different person, right? And all of the people that you're with, whether they're on a spiritual journey or not, they're also different people. We're all evolving and changing every single day. And so going into the situation really with just a blank, neutral, slate is often the best way to approach it. I go into things with no expectations. Maybe I have, some certain food or something that I'm hoping to have, and in most cases I'll bring it. I'm just joking, but really kind of going into it with just that, intention of being there and connecting and listening. I would say I do a lot less talking and a lot more listening now. Anytime I'm gathering with a group of people, whether that be friends or family. So it's really important to just let go of those stories, let go of the expectations, release the judgment, that, people don't see you, or, you are working on yourself. Why aren't they working on themselves? It's really not something for you to worry about. You are the only person that you can be mindful of and make decisions for. And so let go of all the judgments and really let yourself be free. And like I said in many, many episodes, I don't want you to fake it. If you can't lean towards a positive approach going into something, the next best thing is just being neutral, not being negative and judgmental and, coming into it with like all of this animosity, but really just try to neutralize the situation and really go in and show up and, just have an intention of being. So that's really the first step. The second step is be present. So once you're there and you've made this decision to participate, you've let go of all the stories, let yourself actually be there. Like clear your mind. You don't need to be in a meditative state. You don't need to be connecting to energy. You don't need to be like doing all those things. No, obviously you can if you want, but how about be present in whatever the activity is, no matter how like 3D matrix ritual, might now not seem as important, but the actual activity and the surroundings and all of that kind of stuff aren't really important. It's the people. It's the people and the time and the intention that you have with them. So go into it and have fun. That's why I'm wearing my Santa shirt. I'm going to go out in a little bit. Really just participate and have fun. Try to tap into that inner child if you can, and just remember how excited you used to be about the holidays. Remember why we are here. And this kind of goes into this same bucket of participating. because, I think a lot of times, especially when I was first kind of understanding this whole awakening spiritual journey, I wanted everybody else to see it too. I wanted everybody else to have this feeling and this knowledge and this awareness. But the truth of the matter is, it is us, and we share that light and we share that love by simply being. Okay. So I wanted to keep this episode very short and sweet. As you're going through the holidays over the next week and a half, just keep in the back of your mind these three simple things. You choose if you're going to participate. And if you do participate, let go of the stories and the judgment. And then finally, be there fully and have fun. Okay. I hope that you guys have a wonderful holiday season. I'm super excited. And the other thing that I realized today is it's exactly 30 days until my 50th birthday in January. So I'm really excited about that. I am going to be brainstorming over the next couple weeks some new ideas for the podcast. So I really appreciate your support, liking the episode, sharing, subscribing, all those things that you know to do really do help and really support me and support what I'm trying to do with getting these messages and insight across. Well, I hope you have a beautiful holiday week, no matter what you're celebrating or what you decide to do. And until next time, I wish you much peace, love, and joy as you pursue being soul aligned.